Cara considers the question for a moment, then shakes her head. I think for this one we'll just go with the flow. Sometimes sticking to a theme can be limiting, and it might be more fun to let people be creative and get whatever they think is the best gift based on their partner's interests. All right, sounds good. I'm excited, Liz says excitedly. Hillary nods in agreement. Yeah, Secret Santa is always fun. It's a great way to get to know someone better too, since you have to think about what they actually enjoy as a gift. She smiles. The conversation continues for a few more moments, with people sharing their favorite gift-giving moments and ideas. Eventually, people begin to get up from the table, stretching their legs and gathering their belongings. Gionni starts collecting the bowls and platters to put away the leftover food, while Cara tidies up the table. Hillary, Carla, Tom, and other guests start to help cleaning up, gathering plates and silverware and bringing them into the kitchen for Gionni to put away. People thank Gionni and Cara for the meal and company, expressing excitement for the upcoming party and Secret Santa gift exchange. Pete and Richard were the first to leave, hugging everyone and thanking Cara and Gionni for a wonderful night. Nice to see you guys again. Thanks for having us, they called out as Cara and Gionni led them to the front door. You're welcome. Have a good night, guys. Happy Thanksgiving, Gionni says. Cara smiles and adds, Drive safely. See you both soon. They wave goodbye to Pete and Richard as they headed out and then closed the door behind them. Liz and Michael are next to leave, leaving their pies at Cara's house. You can keep the pies. We know how much you enjoy leftovers, Liz says, hugging Cara. Liz and Michael say their goodbyes to the others and then head out the front door. Have a good night, Cara. Thanks for hosting, Michael says. Cara smiles and hugs Liz back, happy to receive the leftover pies. Thanks, guys. You didn't have to, but I appreciate it. Get home safe, she waves them off as they leave, then closes the door behind them. Craig and Maria are on their way out, and so are Carla and Brad. Thank you guys for hosting. This was lovely, Maria says, hugging Cara. They hug the others, including Gionni, Carla, Brad, and then make their way outside. Carla and Brad were right behind them, hugging Cara and Gionni, thanking them for a wonderful night. Cara hugs Maria and Carla and Brad, thanking them for coming. Of course, it was good to see you both. Drive carefully and we'll see you soon. She waves goodbye to the four of them as they walk out the front door. Susan and Hillary are next to leave. They hug Cara and Gionni in hopes of seeing them at the holiday party. Have a good one, guys. Happy Thanksgiving, Hillary calls out, opening the door for herself and Susan. Cara smiles and hugs them back, wishing them a good night. Thanks for coming. See you at the party. Happy Thanksgiving to you both as well. She watches them as they walk out the door, waving goodbye. Carole and Tom leave next, saying their goodbyes to the remaining guests in the dining room. Good night, all, they said. Have a good night, Cara. Thank you so much for a memorable Thanksgiving, Carole says, smiling. Take care, Tom waves out. Cara smiles and hugs Carole and Tom, appreciating their kind words. Thanks, guys. I'm glad you had a good time. Drive safely and see you soon. She watches as they walk out the front door. Tanya is leaving next, saying goodbye to Don, Michelle, and Rebecca in the dining room as she walks out the foyer, hugging both Gionni and Cara. Nice seeing you guys. Have a wonderful night, Tanya says, waving. Tanya hugs Cara back, feeling grateful that she came. You too. It was really great to see you. Get home safe. She watches as Tanya walks out the front door and waves goodbye. As Tanya leaves, the number of guests in the house starts to dwindle down. Soon only Don, Michelle, and Rebecca remain in the dining room with Cara and Gionni. Don helps himself to another glass of wine, and Michelle helps Rebecca put on her coat. Rebecca is the next one to leave, leaving Don and Michelle alone in the dining room. They weren't in a hurry to leave and decided to stick around a little longer to chat with Cara and Gionni. Have a good night, guys, Rebecca says, hugging both Don and Michelle. She makes her way into the foyer to give Cara and Gionni hugs as they were standing by the front door. Cara smiles and hugs Rebecca back, happy to see her one more time before she leaves. Bye, Rebecca. Thanks for coming. Get home safe. She watches as Rebecca heads out the front door, saying one last goodbye. Gionni and Cara close the door behind Rebecca and make their way back into the dining room where Michelle and Don are at the table chit-chatting. Michelle is also having another glass of wine while Don is pulling up a chair next to her. Hey, sorry we're overstaying our welcomes, Michelle chuckled. Oh, Michelle, you know I don't mind. I like having you guys here. It's good company. Cara smirks. Gionni nods in agreement. Yeah, feel free to stay as long as you like. We're happy to have you. He pulls up a chair next to Cara, joining in on the conversation. Michelle, may I ask why you brought up Cris again? Are you two friendly? Don asks in curiosity. Michelle pauses, taking a sip of her wine before responding. That's a complicated question, Don. We have a history together, yes, but friendly might not be the word I'd use. We've had our ups and downs, let's put it that way. I don't know, because to me it seems like you're being a little two-faced. One minute you're all friendly to Liz and Cara and pretending like everything is okay, and then the next minute you're jumping ships to Cris, telling her you're going to Cara's Thanksgiving party, and she's not invited, but you enjoy talking to her and stirring up shit, so you continue to enjoy her company. Don calls out, bringing up a sensitive subject now that everyone had left. Michelle looks taken aback by Don's sudden outburst. Wow, Don, that's quite a judgment you've made there. I thought this was supposed to be a friendly conversation. Since when have you become the expert on my friendships and loyalties? She seems somewhat agitated by his comments. Don sighs and shakes his head a bit exasperated. I'm just calling it like I see it, Michelle. You don't expect to go around playing both sides and not have anyone notice. It's not fair to anyone involved, especially not Cara and Liz. I agree, Cara nods, taking a sip of wine. Michelle, you are being a little two-faced. You need to pick a side, Cara chuckled. Michelle glares at Cara and Don, seemingly annoyed by their accusations. So what? You're ganging up on me now? You two are going to tag team me until I concede to one side? I thought we were friends. She crosses her arms, visibly upset. Don't be ridiculous, Michelle. We're not ganging up on you. We just find it weird that you're playing both sides. We understand you feel bad for Cris not being invited, but that doesn't mean you have to act friendly towards her. She really affected Liz. She caused a fight. She caused a Halloween blowout, for Christ's sake. I don't know how hard that is for you to understand. If you think something good comes out of a drug addict and alcoholic, well, you're wrong. Don shakes his head. Michelle huffs and takes another sip of her wine, looking defiant. I understand your concerns, Don, but honestly, it's not your place to tell me who I should and shouldn't be friends with. I know Cris has her issues, but she's a good person deep down. She just makes bad choices sometimes. She takes a deep breath and continues, her voice slightly defensive. And it doesn't mean I'm playing both sides just because I don't want to completely cut off Cris. Cara sighs, clearly not pleased with Michelle's response. Michelle, I think you're missing the point here. This isn't about picking sides or being loyal to one person or the other. It's about boundaries and respecting what Liz needs right now. She's been really hurt by Cris, and it's not fair for you to just brush that aside and just keep hanging out with her like nothing happened. She takes a pause, looking directly at Michelle. I'm not hanging out with her. I ran into her at the supermarket. What was I supposed to do? Pretend I didn't know her? She was right in front of my face, Cara. Michelle slams the table. This is a sensitive subject, and I think I need to take the edge off. Michelle pulls out her pack of cigarettes from her bra and takes one out. Cara stares at Michelle, visibly irritated. A cigarette? Really, Michelle? You're going to light up in our house? She watches as Michelle lights up her cigarette and blows out a puff of smoke. Gionni looks annoyed as well, but he says nothing, letting Cara handle the situation. Michelle flicks up the lighter to her face. Yeah, Cara, I am. Fuck your stupid rules. You used to smoke with me in the parking lot, remember? Michelle blurts out her secret that she was hiding from Gionni. Cara is caught off guard by Michelle's revelation. She stares at her in disbelief, shocked that she would disclose their secret right in front of Gionni. Gionni looks surprised and concerned by the news, turning his attention to Cara. This is what you've been hiding from me? Smoking on school grounds with Michelle? Really? Gionni says. Cara looks guilty, unable to meet Gianni's gaze. Yeah, Gionni, I've been smoking with Michelle. Occasionally. It's not a big deal, okay? She tries to downplay it, but her voice betrays her. You light up in this house and you're leaving, Gionni says firmly. I just want to say one thing. I'm sorry I brought up Cris earlier. It wasn't my intention. I just wanted to straighten things out. I got what I want and I'm sorry. It's your party and you should invite whoever you want, Michelle sighs. Cara takes a deep breath, still feeling guilty about the smoking. I'm sorry, Gionni. You're right. I shouldn't have hidden this from you, and I apologize for that. She looks at Michelle, her expression softened. It's okay, Michelle. We all make mistakes. Just please, no more smoking around here, okay? Gionni nods, still feeling a bit annoyed. Yeah, Cara, I appreciate your apology. Just please, no more secrets from now on. And Michelle, you need to stop smoking in the house. It's disrespectful and harmful to your health. Michelle lowers the cigarette from her mouth. Fine, I won't. But don't bring up sensitive subjects and then expect me to take things smoothly, Michelle says. Cara sighs, knowing that this isn't the time to escalate things. You're right, Michelle. I should have been more thoughtful with what I said. I'm sorry. She looks at Gionni, hoping he'll add something to erase the tension in the room. All right, I think I'm going to head home now before I get too woozy and can't drive, Don says, standing up. Have a good night, girls, he says, hugging Gionni. Cara nods at Don, appreciating his attempt to lighten the mood. Thanks for coming tonight, Don. See you soon. She watches as Don bids farewell to Gionni and makes his way out of the door. Happy Thanksgiving, guys, Don says, waving as he lets himself out of Cara's house. Cara waves back, feeling a mixture of emotions as Don leaves. She turns back to Gionni and Michelle, the atmosphere in the room still a bit tense. Gionni clears his throat, clearly still irked by the earlier tension. Well, I guess it's just three of us now. He looks at Michelle and Cara, a hint of annoyance in his gaze. Cara sighs, sensing Gianni's annoyance. Yeah, just us now. She fidgets with her hands awkwardly, unsure of what to do or say next. The room is silent for a few moments before Gionni speaks up again. Gionni takes a deep breath before breaking the silence. Listen, I think we all need to calm down a little. I understand that emotions are high right now, but we can't keep snapping at each other like this. He looks at both Cara and Michelle, his expression a bit softer now. Can we just try to have a civil conversation and put all this drama to the side for a moment? You're the one that got mad at me for smoking with Michelle. It was a long time ago. I don't do it anymore, Cara said innocently, throwing her hands into the air. Gionni rubs his temples, feeling a headache coming on. I know it was a while ago, Cara, but it's still not cool to hide things from me like that. You should have told me about it. His voice still remains calm, but there's still a hint of frustration in his tone. I understand that, but this is exactly what I was afraid of. You freaking out on me, Cara says softly. Gionni sighs and takes a moment to compose himself. I'm not freaking out, Cara. I just don't like it when you keep things from me. We're supposed to be honest with each other, remember? He gazes at her with a mix of concern and disappointment in his eyes. Gionni, if you should be mad at anyone, it should be me. I know Cara's not very good at hiding things, and throughout that time I was the one enabling her. I'm sorry if I made her keep secrets from you. It wasn't my intention. She was just scared, Michelle spoke up. Gionni turns his attention to Michelle, surprised by his words. Scared? What do you mean she was scared? He looks at Cara, trying to understand the situation better. She was scared that you would find out and freak out. Scared this small thing would break the two of you apart, Michelle said, speaking up for her friend. Gionni glances at Cara, a hint of hurt in his eyes. Is that true, Cara? You were afraid that me finding out about a few cigarettes would drive us apart? His voice softens, a mix of confusion and betrayal in his tone. Cara begins to shake, her anxiety taking a hold of her. Yes, that's true, she says softly. I hid it from you because I was afraid of how you would react. It wasn't like I was chain smoking. We would go out for a break while our kids were at specials just to calm down a bit. Being a teacher and having the responsibility of taking care of kids all day is a lot of work, and it's pretty exhausting. Shirk eventually found out about this back in September, and we both served our suspensions. She ruled out our consequences, and we accepted them, Cara says, nodding. Gionni takes a moment to process the information, his expression of mix of hurt and understanding. I see. I had no idea you felt that way, Cara. I never wanted to make you feel like you had to hide things from me, especially not because you were afraid I'd overreact. He paused, sighing. I know you're turned off by smoking, and I just didn't want it to get under your skin. I love you very much, and I love the relationship we have together. I just didn't want this to get in the way or make us fall apart, Cara says. Gionni nods, appreciating Cara's honesty. I understand where you're coming from, Cara. I do. I'm sorry if I made you feel like you couldn't confide in me. That's not how a relationship should work. He hesitates for a moment before continuing. But please, no more secrets. Even if it's something you think I might not like. I want us to be open and honest with each other from now on, okay? Yes, I understand that. Michelle, I'm sorry for putting you in the middle of this. I promise it won't happen again. Gionni, I promise I'll be honest with you from now on, Cara says apologetically. Gionni nods, a mixture of relief and appreciation in his gaze. Thank you, Cara. I appreciate that, and I'm sorry for overreacting earlier. His expression softens as he glares at Michelle. Cara nods, forming a small smile. It's all right. You had every right to do so. I'm not upset. Gionni takes a deep breath, feeling the tension gradually begin to ease in the room. Good. I just want us to be able to talk about things, but without jumping to conclusions or getting overly emotional. We're a team, remember? Cara nods, reaching over to hug Gionni. Yes, I remember, she says. Gionni pulls Cara into a tight embrace, holding her against his chest. Michelle reaches over and pats Cara on the shoulder. It'll be okay, Cara. You'll work this out, I promise. Cara pulls away from Gionni, wiping her tears away. Thanks, Michelle. She looks at Gionni, a small smile on her face. I'm sorry again for hiding things from you, Gionni. I promise I'll do better in the future. Gionni smiles softly. Good, I look forward to talking things out with you from now on. Cara nods, feeling a sense of relief wash over her. Me too. I don't want there to be any more secrets between us. We're in this together, right? Gionni nods, a smile forming across his face. Yes, love, he says. All right, guys, I think I'm going to get going. I've definitely overstayed my welcome, Michelle chuckled, standing up from her seat and gathering her things. We'll walk you out, Gionni says, smiling as the two of them get up from their spot at the table. Cara nods, joining Gionni as they accompany Michelle to the door. Thanks for coming over, Michelle. We really appreciate it. Cara opens the door, the cool night air rushing into the house. Michelle smiled. Thank you for having me, Cara. This was a wonderful night. Happy Thanksgiving and good night, Michelle says, waving. Cara smiles warmly, waving back at Michelle. Good night, Michelle. Thanks again. Happy Thanksgiving to you, too. She watches as Michelle walks down the few steps of the porch and heads towards her car. Cara closes the door behind Michelle and turns to Gionni, a small smirk forming on her face. What do you say? I think we did pretty well hosting tonight. Everyone enjoyed the dinner, and we had some fun conversations at the table. I think this was one of our best Thanksgivings yet. Gionni smiles and pulls Cara into his arms, holding her close. Yeah, I agree. We made a great team tonight. The food was delicious, and everyone seemed to have a good time. We even managed to work through a little bit of drama. He grins at her. Cara grins back at Gionni, enjoying the closeness of their embrace. Yeah, we did. We faced a challenge, and we came out stronger on the other side. She wraps her arms around his waist, resting her head against his chest. I'm thankful for you, Gionni. Gionni pulls Cara a bit tighter into his embrace, feeling a sense of gratefulness and love wash over him. And I'm thankful for you, Cara. He gazes down at her with tenderness in his eyes. Gionni and Cara remain standing in a warm embrace, feeling the sense of comfort and contentment in each other's presence. The events of the evening have not only strengthened their bond and solidified their commitment to one another. As the night deepens, they decide to retire to bed, knowing that tomorrow is another day filled with new adventures and experiences to share together. With that, they bid each other good night and head to their bedroom, ready to face whatever lies ahead, knowing that they have each other to lean on.